Hi guys! Oh my god, it's been a very long time since I have done a video, and especially reading, so I felt quite drawn to pulling some cards today. I don't know if you guys saw my post yesterday. Yeah, just a few people that I've come across, friends and friends of friends, and a friend of mine as well, who unfortunately passed away and took his own life. And yeah, I kind of just recently been feeling just like an energy collective, feeling of like a state of overwhelmingness. I don't really know what to call it, when you're just absolutely overwhelmed and just feeling like, oh my god, I can't do this anymore, like this is too much, this is too hard for me. And especially through this whole pandemic and how it's affected our mental health, I just wanted to pull a few cards just of the energy of like, what is this teaching us? When things feel very contracted, when we feel very contracted, when we feel restricted, obviously all these new restrictions are gonna maybe be coming in the new year. Fingers crossed they don't, because it does affect a lot of people. Pretty much it affects everyone, obviously, but some get worse hit, and obviously the industry I'm in, it does affect my work, and it's really hard to be able to try and control what's going to happen. We can't control what's going to happen. It's like, obviously we can speak up for ourselves, we can say, our rights and what we, how we feel and express that, but that sometimes doesn't change things. It sometimes does, but it's kind of like we've got to do what we can and release what we can't. So yeah, I thought I'd just pull a few cards, like I said, on just like what we can learn from what we're going through currently as a collective. The good thing is that, and this is what I really emphasised on yesterday's post, was we are not alone. And I know like a lot of you may feel like, it's weird because when you get so trapped in your mind and in your emotions, and you're kind of overwhelmed with everything and you're trying to control things. We come from a very dense controlling society. We all trying to control our lives. We all try to control our circumstances. We all try to control things that are happening outside of us when really we can't. So I'm feeling like this is going to be a big lesson coming up in the cards about sort of just letting go, just trusting in that things will, everything always happens for a reason. I truly do believe that, and I always believe that everything always works out as it's meant to. And even if it really hurts, or you go through an extreme loss, or you go through, you may lose jobs, you may lose loved ones, you may lose stability, you may lose, your whole world may just crumble around you during these times. But if you look at the bigger picture, there's always like, if you think about your life now and you look in your past and you look about every circumstance, every no, every door that closed, any relationship that broke up, or, anything that was sort of out of your control that just left your life, you look back now and go, thank God that happened. Like, it woke me up, or it actually strengthened me. It actually taught me a lot. You always look back on certain situations in your life and you always go, yeah, even though that was so painful, I'm so glad that happened. So if we can just get out of that perspective of like being in like tunnel vision, of like so distressed on what's going on, and, nitpicking things and trying to fight and trying to, sometimes it gets too much. And when you do feel that emotional of being overwhelmed, it means you're not being present. So I really, this message, whoever this reaches and whoever it resonates with, I strongly recommend you guys to meditate, to ground yourself and become more present in your moment. This does take practice, but you can do it just out of pure choice of like, right, I've got to switch off. So you can switch off from your mobile phones, you can switch off from the news, you can switch off from telly, you can switch off from people, and just go, you know what, I I need to just rest. I just need to close my eyes. I just need to just breathe. I just need to maybe read a book that's, you know, educational book, something that's going to teach you about letting go. You can always, there's always information out there, you know, in books if you want to switch off from the whole YouTube, or if you do want to do some research on tips on, you know, whatever you're going through, there's always a way to get help. You know, you can always reach out to me. You can always go to YouTube, and YouTube literally like a video on how to release this or how to let go of this. There's always there's always help out there. And you know, this is what this video is going to be for. I'm just going to let the angels, let the cards read the energy of what's happening in the collective, what's happening with you guys, and you know, get some advice and also get some intuitive guidance as well. But I'm praying for everyone, and I'm sending you all lots of love, but just have trust in this process. That's all I can say. Just trust, just let go of the control, be it present, be grateful for everything that you have right now, your family, your loved ones, those who, you know, whatever you do have, be grateful, and just do something you love today. You know, if you can't do work, if you're feeling too overwhelmed, if you're feeling like all over the place, do something you can do, which would be meditate, read a book, you know, do like a hobby, get creative, do some arts and crafts, paint a picture, whatever it is that's just your bliss, go do it today. And yeah, just be present. That's all I can say. So I'm going to just see what these cards are saying. I'm going to pull the moon cards, the moonology. These beautiful cards. If I'm like cropped out of this. But yeah, these lovely cards. Because we've just had a powerful cold moon. It was the winter solstice. And yeah, we've had a lot of energies coming with this new moon. The winter moon, the cold moon. And that full moon has definitely brought up a lot. So let's see what these cards are saying. Any advice from the feminine energies of the moon? What is it we need to... Oh. One's just popped out. Oh... I like this one. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. I love this, and it's very nurturing. I don't know if you can see the picture. Yes. So you've got this lovely woman. I feel a lot of nurturing coming through her feminine essence. And this is quite a strong woman. I can feel the energy of this woman, actually. She's quite a strong, independent woman. She knows what she wants. She's had enough of the bullshit in her life. And I can see this vase that she's pouring and the water that's coming out. It's kind of like, you know what, I'm okay just shedding those tears. I'm okay, I'm just sort of washing away. I feel like this washing away of this energy of the old. And this could have been built up energy of your past, of, you know, conditioning, childhood conditioning, that is you've brought with you a lot. This is like an older woman. I could feel like, you know, she's not in her teens. This is not early 20s. This is more 30s above. But I can just feel like she's been in a very long relationship. She's been in a very long relationship that was very toxic, but she's just ready to let go and wash away all of the past, the way that she was, the way that he was. It's kind of like, you're looking at your past and going like, you know, I definitely made some mistakes. I definitely did some things that I regret, the way I was. And you kind of like want to change a lot about yourself, because you're realizing, you're waking up like it wasn't just your ex that was causing the problems, which you thought at the time, like it's just him, it's all him, blah, blah, blah. This is just one energy I'm picking up on at the moment, so I'm just going with it, guys. If it doesn't resonate, we will be, you know, going on to other things. But yeah, just whoever this is for, just definitely message in the comments. But you're just ready to like wash away your old shit, if if you don't mind me saying, like the old self that just wasn't serving you. It was keeping you distant in relationships. It was kind of this barrier of the masculine energy, the wounded masculine that sort of was protecting you, which you thought it was protecting you. Is this natural instinct that came up to just like take no shit. And it was kind of this like false strength that you was carrying. And recently those walls have broken down and you've had to find a different sense of strength. And there's one thing that I went through this journey of this woman as well in my past. And I'm sure a lot of women watching this has gone through the same thing. We're all human beings. We all go through similar, if not the same, experiences, just in different ways. But the lessons tend to be the same. So, you know, learning like what you thought kept you strong, actually when those walls broke down and like there was this whole sense of vulnerability, this whole sense of like insecurity that rose up in you, like the sense of rejection, the sense of like humiliation. It could be like anything that's just sort of risen. When those walls broke down, it was like this whole like new energy started coming up, and it was really making you feel like overwhelmed, like you couldn't stop crying, or it just like the person you were, you just are no longer. And it's like having to find this new strength. And there's this one thing I definitely have been saying to a lot of clients recently, like I've just been feeling this energy of like there is like this different sense of strength in your own vulnerability, and a lot of us are very scared of being vulnerable. And where this message of show the world the real you, it's such a strong message, because not a lot of us, you know, through our lifetime, we kind of get lost on like who we are. We have this sort of full sense of self, and when we're coming through obviously all these walls coming down and this like, you know, breakups and just your careers go crashing down, it's all of this control you've got lost all your control, and you're just like, the only thing you can do is surrender to the universe and just start listening to what's coming up. Because like I said before, there's a lesson in everything you go through. So, you know, what is this teaching you about yourself? What are you discovering about yourself? These are questions you can ask yourself, you know, every day of like, this is how I'm feeling, like I'm feeling super like overwhelmed. Well, what is this overwhelming feeling teaching you? What are you learning from this feeling? Well, I kind of maybe don't have to take on too much, or maybe I'm just like, I've got to give myself some time to just be. Maybe it might be, you know, just this whole sense of like vulnerability and insecurity you never knew you had. And it's like, well, what is this teaching you? Well, I've got to, you know, I didn't even know I was this insecure. So, you know, there might be a part of you that's like, wow, well, I've just got to, you know, see this insecurity and be like, yeah, this is actually how, you know, own up to it. This is actually how I feel. Like, you might be an absolute nervous wreck around people. You might socially feel awkward around people now, which you never did. But, you know, some of these things are like, there's actually a strength in owning your vulnerabilities and your insecurities. So, you know, for example, if you suddenly feel like you are overwhelmed being around a crowd of people and you feel quite insecure because you kind of don't know who you are, even just owning that, like walking into a room and saying, guys, I've had an absolute breakdown this year. I don't know who the fuck I am anymore. But you know what? I'm okay with not knowing who I am, because that means I can start from scratch and completely rediscover who I am, because the old me wasn't really serving me anyways. But, you know, communicating to your friends, saying I get shit scared with loads of people, I you know, but this is how I feel. And just owning that, there's a sense of security in that. There's a sense of like owning your own vulnerabilities and your insecurities. Say you've put on weight the last year because of lockdown and everything, like that's been overwhelming, and you've just been holding a lot of stress, you know, going out and saying, girls, you know, if you feel insecure and you're kind of trying to want to cover up, you know what, own it. I put on a bit of weight. This is how I'm looking. Wasn't really exercising that much, or maybe wasn't looking after myself that much over lockdown. I wasn't dealing with my stress very well. And, you know, there's always circumstances, not just exercising and diet with weight loss. I've learned that lesson. A lot of it is to do with stress. So if you have been stressing out this last year and you've been holding a lot of weight, then, you know, you just say, well, yeah, I've been super stressed this year. It's been a freaking stressful year. Put on a bit of weight. I'm just going to have a little bit more of a jiggle today. But just own it. And you know what, in that sense, you've accepted you and you've owned your insecurity. No one else is going to judge you, because you are no longer judging yourself. Like, it's only when you get insecure and you think, oh my God, am I being awkward? If you just say, guys, I'm probably going to be super awkward today, but this is how I am. I just don't know who I am anymore. they'll feel more relaxed because you feel more relaxed. And there's just a lot of that. So, you know, showing the world the real you, you know, whatever we're going through, no matter how difficult your situation is, everything that you go through, there's always a reason, there's always a lesson. And, you know, don't be so hard on yourself, because this is only, you know, this time is very, very stretched. Like, obviously you'll look back as a bigger picture and say, right, these times of the years that we went through, the corona, the pandemic and everything that happened, literally it's like a small piece of your life. Do you know what I mean? And if things are breaking down and renewing and changing right now, just let go of the string you're trying to hold on to. I say string, like it's more like rope, but like, let go of that rope, because the moment you let go is the moment you just sort of trust in life and go, you know what, whatever isn't meant for me isn't meant for me, whatever doesn't serve me doesn't serve me. What can you do? What can you do? Just trust. If there's anything you can do, do it. But if there is if you're trying to do something and you can't do it, just let it go. Just trust that something better is around the corner. And you know, just that's that main message of just knowing that you're not alone. Okay, right. So, and I've seen this before as well. So the waxing moon, the energy is gaining momentum. And whatever it is, like coming to an end on this year of 2021, whatever's sort of unfolding now and leaving, there's a momentum happening. Whatever is coming to an end will completely come to an end, and it will leave your life and no longer exist in your reality. And then you've got anything that's coming in at the moment and you're feeling good about, and like you're feeling like a new energy sort of come in, whether it be like you're feeling like a new relationship is coming in, or a new job opportunity, or anything to do with your business career, that's feeling good, that something's happening, like starting from now, it will gain momentum in the new year. So 2022 does feel like we've got a lot of new energy coming in. But for new energy to come in, we need to let go of the old energy and what doesn't serve us. So, you know, if there is control issues that you do have, or there's like old traits, what I was saying about this woman in this picture, of like the old traits that weren't serving you, it's time to let go of them, because that wasn't serving you. That was keeping you distant in relationships. It was keeping you distant from friends, family. And it was just your safety. That's what I'm feeling like. It was your safety there. But now you've sort of broken that wall. You're exposed to a shitload of vulnerability, and like you feel quite exposed. Start owning that exposure. Start owning that true self that's coming through. Because the more you own your own stuff, it's just, you just feel so much better in yourself. You have this stability, security, and strength that a new sense of strength, not a false sense of strength coming through. So I'm just going to pull one more card. I like these ones. These have got good messages in. It's nice to be back, guys. Sorry I haven't done a video for some time. Like I said, I was taking a bit of time off. I don't know if it cut out earlier when I was saying about that. I took like 2.5 weeks off, and I completely, like, I cried for like 2 weeks straight. Like, I've never felt that emotional. Like, this wave of emotion just came up, and I was getting triggered left, right and centre, and I was like, what's going on? Like, I can't stop crying. And it's just like, whatever that was, like, I literally just allowed it to flow. Like, I was like, I can't see clients this week. Didn't even know if I could sing. And I just remember I had to go to the gig, because obviously I'm singing every Saturday, and I was like, I can't not go. So I went up there, I told my boss, like, I'm not okay. Like, I can't stop crying. Like, I know I'll be okay, but right now I'm not okay. And like, I told the girls, and I was like, I'm not okay, but I'll be okay. So don't worry about me. I just need to sort of be on my own today. So, you know, between the singing, I'd go cry my eyes out more, redo the makeup, go on stage, like nothing happened, then come off, cry loads more. And I literally cried so many times. By the end of the day, I felt so exhausted. I was like, so I went home, I slept, and I literally just slept for like 3 days straight. I'm just like, just feeling utterly exhausted. So, you know, like sometimes these waves do come up and you just got to trust like that this is coming up for a reason, and you're going to feel so much better after it. So just be with that, you know, that stage, you know, be with that, the emotion, let it pass, express from it, talk to people about it. Don't be ashamed to cry, because it's the only way to heal. You feel it, you face it, you feel it, and you heal it. Like that is literally, I tell everyone, you face how you feel, express obviously to others, and you feel it. You have to feel the emotion of it, and then when you feel it and you cry it, you heal it. It just goes. It's like, oh, weight is lifted off my shoulder. And look, if you guys are struggling to deal with your emotions, like please reach out. Like I said, over the holidays, David and I are going to be giving out free advice, whatever you're going through, if it's a breakup, if it's a family loss, if it's anything that you're going through, if you're really struggling on something and you just, your mind's going over and over and over the situation, just tell me the situation. Just express it on a message in my DMs, and I will get back to you. I'll get back to you, just some advice of what you can do. Maybe I can see it in a different perspective for you to be like, oh my God, I didn't see it like that. Oh my God, thank you. You know, there's always a different perspective to look on things. So, you know, I just don't be ashamed to ask for help. Like when I go through some stuff, I've got some really kind friends that I reach out to. I've got some other friends in the community that are also in this line of work that they help me. And I just literally, I don't know what I would have done without them. And obviously I've got my David, so which it's been an absolute blessing to go through the healing journey with him. So yeah, just please reach out, because I know this can be quite a tough time of the year for some people. So we have Imagine. I love that. That's definitely like a watery energy as well. Higher Power and Poised. Unfinished Symphony. Wow, I like that one. So that's 10. So that's like a completion. So like I was saying, like this energy, like whatever's like, maybe you started something at the beginning of 2021 and you didn't get to finish it, or there might have been some kind of hold up, some delay in something. It's still unfinished business. So something, okay, so that's what I'm getting. So something in your past you were working on didn't work out at the time, and it was kind of like you had no choice but to just like let that one go. Whatever, something there in the past, and I'm feeling this for quite a lot of people, you might have thought it was an amazing idea or something, your project you were working on, and it was so, like the passion you had behind it was so good, but something wasn't working. It's to do with timing. There's an unfinished symphony, so there's something that will be completed in 2022 that is from the past. So like I said, it could be anything to do with something you were working on. I feel like there's definitely some music here. You can see all of like the music notes and stuff like that. So if someone's working on music, it could be something that just makes your heart sing, and you just felt like this new passion, but something just wasn't working back then. It's to do with timing. 2022 is bringing new energy. Just keep letting go of the old energy. Literally just keep letting go, keep letting go. The past is the past. It's done, done, done. Let go, free yourself, make way for new energy. And then something will come in to complete in the 2022. So we've also got Imagine. We've also got Higher Power. And we've got Poised. And the numbers are 24, 48. And obviously we had the 10 here. So yeah, this is amazing. So we've got like a lot of manifesting. I feel a lot of manifesting energies coming through 2022. So if you have had a time out, if you have had like a little break from something in your past, there's this imagine energy is like dreaming, daydreaming, visualizing, like thinking like this is what I want to create for my life. This is how I want to live. This is where I want to live. This is where I want to go with my family. This is what I want to do with my family. This could be anything, dreams, projects, anything that you wish for, that you've been imagining the last year and nothing's been happening. This is really good because you've just been setting more of an intention. You've been literally like manifesting more into like that other higher dimension. But when you align, when you're manifesting to that dimension, you've got to let go of the heavier vibrations below you, so you can align align yourself to the higher dimension. So it's like you're shifting away from that dense energy of living from fear and control and living in survival mode. And you literally, the more you let go of that control and just sort of trust, the more you're going to align to the manifesting reality of feeling like more going with the flow, kind of like trusting in life. And that is a higher vibrational living from the heart space, where you're like, you're not just living to survive, you're living to thrive, you're living to just experience, you're living to you know, gain more knowledge about yourself, you're living in your own truth. When you align to that in this dimension, in this reality, and you start living from your authentic self, you start owning your own vulnerabilities, you start owning, you know, your insecurities, or if you're in a situation, you go, yeah, I'm in this situation right now, but you know, I trust in God and I'm just going to let it go, and I know things will get better. You're living in more of a thriving energy, and that energy will bring in your higher power. And your higher power is like your higher self. It's like you've got the key up here, and you've got that, you can see here, look, you've got the key. Oh, the light's so bright, but you've got the key here in the mind. And when you free this area, and you free it from confusion, you free it from worry, you feel it from stressing over the past and stuff like that, you literally connect to your divine, you connect to your higher self. Like you get all your ideas, your inspiration, that stillness that you can feel when you meditate and when you give yourself time off and stop overwhelming. Because the overwhelming is not going to make room for new energy. The overwhelming is too cluttered in your mind. So to get rid of that energy, you've got to just be like, whoa, I'm so overwhelmed. I need to switch off. Like I said before, ground the energy, meditate. The more you do that, if you do that in like, you can do this in like a few weeks of just practice, of just taking time off and just, you know, obviously if you have a job to do, yes, there's work to do, but you know, making sure you're still making time for you. That is the most important thing. You know, work days should not be 24 hours a day. Like they should be, you know, 9 to 5. If you have a 9 to 5 job, there's still like time in between, like obviously for your lunch break. In your lunch break, you know, grab yourself a little sandwich. Or before you even grab yourself a sandwich, do a 15-minute guided meditation just to clear that mind. And trust me, when you go back to your work, you're just going to be a lot more cool, I can actually concentrate. I'm not like overwhelmed with so many tasks I've got to do. Like just clearing that mind, it makes such a big difference. And I tell people this all the time, but you know, whether or not you want to put it into practice is up to you. You're responsible for your own life. No one else can take that responsibility for you. No one else is going to fix you. Only you can fix you. I learned this harsh lesson of, you know, someone's going to rescue me and someone's going to save me, and I didn't have to do anything about it. No, you've got to do something about it. But obviously you only know your situation. Like as a healer, as a teacher, as a guide, as a coach, I don't know your situation. Only, you know, you can come to me and say, this is how I'm feeling, and I can give you that perspective and that advice on how to help you feel better. But if I give you that advice and you don't do it, there's only so much someone can do. So, you know, it's only up to you. So if you do make room for that clarity and peace of mind to come in, and you connect to that higher power, I guarantee your life will work for you, and you will actually be doing less and achieving more, rather than thinking you've got to do more, because that is coming from trauma. You'll just be in a state of like, I've got this great idea, and you know, actually it's a great idea to do less and achieve more, like I said. And this poise 48 as the outcome is like, look how happy she is, look on top of the world, like she's got this pillar holding her up, she's got this stability, she's floating, she's got her stable grounds, nothing's rocky, she's here, she's got the star, she's literally like living her best life. She's so connected to her higher self, she's so connected to her divinity, she's so connected to the stars, the moon, the energies, and she just knows what to do. She's completely freed. And that's like how we all want to feel, right? And it may not be happening right now because we're going through this transition. We're coming to the end of this 2021. There's a lot of energies needing to be gone. But I swear this energy I'm feeling so much now, it's like, nurture yourself. Be responsible and take accountability for you. And, you know, if you're feeling a certain way and you're not enjoying feeling this certain way, there's always a solution. And no matter what feeling you feel, your feelings are always creating your reality. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're going to be attracting more overwhelming experiences. If you're feeling stressed, you're going to be attracting more stress. If you're feeling like anxious, you're going to be around a lot of anxious things making you feel more anxious. So if you're feeling a certain way, go within and just be still and be present and look what it's teaching you, because then you can bring that new energy of like, right, I've taken a bit of time off work, or I've taken a bit of more time to myself in the hours I've got free. You know, just before you go to bed at night, even if you have children, there's never an excuse. You know, people always make excuses, but I've got children, I've got this, I've got that, I've got this busy life, I've got so much to do. Cool, carry on until you realize that your body can't cope anymore and it will shut down. Like, you will get ill, you will get sick, until you literally don't have a choice but to rest. I always say people can prevent illness if they just listen to their body and listen to how they feel. Because feelings do pass, but when we ignore them, they accumulate literally on top of each other. So before it accumulates to the point where you're feeling super overwhelmed, that overwhelm doesn't come overnight. That takes a lot of energy accumulating to create that overwhelmed feeling. So just make sure that, you know, you catch yourself of going, right, I think I've got a lot on. I can only do one thing at a time. What's important? Like, try and just, you know, just become present, meditate, clear that mind, do some Reiki, do whatever it is you need to do to get you balanced, and then go, right, this is what the list is here. What is a priority? What can I do realistically to not overly exhaust myself? Right, I can do this, this, and this. One step at a time, you will tick off that list. But if that list takes you a bit longer, it takes you a bit longer. Don't, you know, time is something that I believe time doesn't really exist. Like, it's just an illusion. So, you know what, you only put the pressure on yourself if you dedicate some time. Obviously, if someone else is putting pressure on you to do something in that frame of time, and you know you physically can't do it because you've got a lot going on, you tell that person saying, look, my mental health and my emotional health is very important right now, and I'm feeling very overwhelmed, and would you mind if I extended this time frame, because I've set out some things and I feel like what I can do is I can do this task over a period of time. I don't think I can do it any shorter because it's going to make me sick. It's going to make me ill. It's going to be too much for me. Just being honest about there's always a way to tell people and communicate how you're feeling, whether or not it's family, your boss, or anyone putting pressure on you, or anything, or whatever it is. You can always communicate how you feel, because how you feel is more important. Mental health isn't just something that goes away on its own. It does take a lot of acknowledgement, and it takes a lot of communication to speak up of how you feel. And when you are, you know, compassionate and empathic to yourself, others can be. But when you're ignoring yourself and you're just putting others first, you know, they're going to put a lot of pressure on you, because, like I said, your own pressure creates more pressure. So, you know, just being with your own pressure and understanding it, you know, you can learn a lot from this. Look, I know I've blabbed on, and I just felt like this message needed to come across because I'm feeling that in the collective at the moment. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that, and I hope that whatever resonated, whatever didn't, you let that go. And if you want to rewatch this video to gain more from it, you're more than welcome. But I would really like a like, share, or comment on this video, because I haven't done them in a while, so I'm sure the algorithm is all messed up. And yeah, so, you know, I really, really appreciate the support, and I promise to do more of these, you know, when I feel inclined to do them. So lots of love and Merry Christmas from me. And David's not here, he's working today. But lots of love, and I'm sending you love, light, and blessings for this Christmas and New Year.